Hi everyone, we're gonna do another music appreciation session. It's basically me sitting for a few minutes talking about different details and cool things about my favorite songs. And you don't need to be a musician, you don't need to know any music theory to enjoy this. Today we're gonna explore one of my favorite Beatles songs, which is I Am the Walrus by John Lennon. And we're gonna explore why is it so cool, why is it so different, and what's behind all this coolness. So let's start from the beginning. The song starts with some sort of like orchestra playing some arrangements, strange arrangements, right? And also in a key that is not the final key of the song. So for the first few bars there's a sense of not settlement. It's not settled. It's just kind of like it makes no sense so far, right? It makes no sense so far. So pay attention to the beginning of the song with the cool arrangements and the chords, and make a mental note about the beginning. Okay, so we have the beginning, fine. And then eventually it settles to the key of the song, which we'll say is some sort of A. Could be A major, could be A minor, but this is A, that's for sure. Now, if you don't know any music theory, what is really cool about this is that all the chords that he uses in this song, or pretty much all the chords, are major chords. And these really go against music theory rules when it comes to harmonizing a scale and using chords related to that scale. In other words, he really is breaking the rules, the harmony rules that we establish. You don't really find songs only using such a vast amount of major chords. So I think it's clearly intentional. He probably decided like, no, I'm gonna use only major chords and I'm gonna get away with it. And he did. Oh well, he did. Okay, so we're gonna explore a bit about the chord progression. Which is pretty cool. There's a descending line there, so descending, and then it kind of goes up, right? That's the main melody and the chord for this verse and pretty much for the whole song. Now the question is, if he broke the rules of harmony using chords that you don't really expect to find, how did he get away with it? How did he manage to write the song using all these chords that are not really meant to be there? And the answer is actually is the key for the whole song, and that's what this whole song is so cool, is because if you really listen carefully, there are only 2 or 3 notes in the melody for most of the song. So it's but it's so well done that you don't notice that there are only like 3 notes for all this whole part. The rhythm and the chords working underneath make you forget that there's only really brilliant. So it's only like this motif here, which is using half a note, half a step, and then some sort of resolve. Legend has it that he actually heard an ambulance, which it does really sound like some sort of alarm going on, right? So he heard an ambulance and like, oh, I'm gonna use this for a song. And he did. Okay. So basically, I tried to figure out how this works in theory. And I think if you have a melody that uses only a few notes, you can kind of come up with a chord progression that can always rely on that note even if it's not part of the key. So for example, just to illustrate this idea, I'm gonna use only one shape, which is kind of like a C shape here, right? And I'm always gonna play the open E. And now I'll connect all the chords descending from this C to the F. And because I'll be playing the open E, the whole thing will connect because they'll have this common note, which is the, let's see. It works even though I use some chords that are not part of the key. So somehow you could make a song using these ideas because the E drives the whole thing. Right? So I think that's the idea that makes the whole song work. Okay. Then we have a very interesting chord progression, which is when he says, I am the Eggman. C major, they are the Eggman. D major, not part of that kind of, well, I guess it's part of the key. D major, and then E major, 3 major chords together. Okay, now let's stop for a second in this chord progression because it's actually a very powerful chord progression and it's used quite a lot in pop. For example, Crazy Little Thing Called Love by Queen uses the same idea of 3 major chords, one after the other, separated by a whole tone. So it's Crazy Little Thing Called Love, right? 3 major chords. The song SOS by ABBA also uses the same idea on the chorus. Very, very powerful. And it works well. But remember, it's against the rules of music theory, and there are no rules, and sometimes you have to break them anyways. But very interesting. Okay, so we go to kind of like the chorus. I'm the Eggman, they're the Eggman, I am the Walrus. And eventually, it gets to this kind of bridge. And if you listen to the bridge carefully, you'll realize that the motives used in the bridge are actually the same motives that you heard at the very start of the song. Okay, it's used as a connector. Not only that, because it's in a different key, it really creates this very strange feeling of like, kind of like entering a different song, only for a few bars before sets again to the main theme. So if the sound done, attention how it increases intensity there by adding lots of notes to the rhythm. And then I am the Eggman goes back to the main theme. They are the Eggman, I am the Walrus. And then it goes back to the main chord. But the key of this song, why it works so well, is that it has a melody only using mainly 3 notes, and everything underneath keeps changing and evolving. Really clever songwriting. The lyrics are really cool as well. The production is amazing. Without the crazy production, it wouldn't be the same song. And it's just so original. And bear in mind that most Beatles songs will have this component of sheer genius. Even though people who don't know about music theory, they might have heard somewhere that, oh, the Beatles songs are very simple, like they are far from it, they are so clever, pretty much each one of them. And that's why we do these little videos here, just to analyze and realize that there's brilliance everywhere. In pop music, in rock, there's nothing easy, simple or cheap about this, alright? So I hope you liked it. If you have any song suggestions that you like to go through, we can do that. Please subscribe to my channel, and you know, if you don't play any instruments and you just want to start, just grab a guitar or whatever and go for it. Write your music, make music is the best thing ever. Listening and making music is the best thing ever. So anyway, see you soon guys, thanks.